Hey, what's up guys, it's Nick with IndieOogle, and in this tutorial, it's going to be a little bit different from what I've been doing. I'm not actually going to be teaching you any programming or anything like that. I just wanted to go over something about this code and this step event. As you can see, we're getting a lot of stuff in here, and we really need to shorten this up so it'll be easier to work on whatever we're focusing on at the moment and not the stuff that we've already got working. So first I want to just go over this one little thing. Code can be formatted any way that you want. Like, this is the way I would format something. If variable equals true, then do something here. That's the way I would format it. And of course this code isn't going to work, it does nothing. This is just an example. But other people may format it like this. If and you can really do it either way that you want. You can even keep this curly bracket here and this one down here by itself, and there doesn't even need to be a space here like I did up here. And these parentheses, they don't even have to be there. The reason I code everything like this is because it just makes it easier for me to understand exactly what I was trying to do, and it makes it easier for me to work on it. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be easier for you, so you need to try it out and see whatever works best for you. But there is something I want to do with this main character here. As I said, the code is getting a little cluttered now, so since we're already done with all of this stuff here, then we need to format this a little bit different to open up some space. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this curly bracket and put everything on the same line. Okay, so one thing about this though is when you have multiple commands on the same line, you have to make sure you end every command with a semicolon, or else it's not going to work. So this gravity equals 0.5, it's got to have a semicolon after that, because then we add in gravity direction equals 270, and that's got to have one too. And we're going to go ahead and put this else on the same line, and all of this. Okay, so that gets that first line of code, and I'll go ahead and test it to show you that it still works exactly the same. It doesn't change anything about how it functions, it's just how it looks in the text editor. As you can see, everything is exactly the same. Okay, and let's scroll on down here, because this is a lot more code, and you might be wondering how are you going to fit that all into one line without having to use the scroll bar down here. Alright, so what I'm going to do for that is get as much code as I can on one line. And then here, I'm just going to leave this curly bracket here on the next line and continue from there. Okay, so that code has been condensed into 2 lines. And if you do this with everything, then obviously it's going to shorten all of this code that you've already typed out and got working. It's going to shorten it by a lot and leaving more room for you to work on whatever it is you're focusing on. So that's basically all I wanted to talk about in this tutorial, is to just let you guys know that you can do this if you are kind of getting all this stuff just taking up the step event is kind of getting on your nerves, then you can do that. And you can even just remove those lines and, you know, do like this. Have 2 lines of code right there together. Although, unless you just really like this method, personally I wouldn't recommend coding like this in the first place, because it can get very confusing, because GameMaker still requires you to have a curly bracket for an opening and ending curly bracket. So if you have like 3 or 4 curly brackets because of a bunch of if statements, it can get confusing how many you've already typed out, you know. So I would suggest typing something like this, and then when you're done with it, condensing it into something like this. And I'll go ahead and test that again, because I condensed the ladder code and put it into 2 lines, so just to show you that it does work. And there you go. So I was gonna go ahead and do this though, but I figured I'd make a tutorial out of it, so you guys didn't wonder why my code looks different in the next tutorial. I'm gonna be condensing all of this, so you can go ahead and do that too. It's not gonna affect how the game runs. It's just gonna make it cleaner for us to work on new things. But that's all for this tutorial. I'm gonna go ahead and save this, and I'll see you in the next one.